What are your memories back then around this time of Ric Flair?
Don't like him.
Don't like him?
Don't like him.
Why?
I don't care if he knows it or not. I hope he does know it. I don't like him. He's a backstabber.
Mm.
He was the booker in Atlanta when me and Sid were together, and he buried us. And makes promises and tells you, "Hey, brother," And then as soon as you turn around, he sticks you in the back with a big butcher knife. He's a lying, two-faced dog.
Mm.
That's a shoot.
How about memories of Magnum T.A. From back then?
Oh, Magnum getting hurt, was really a shock. He was a guy that I was looking forward to making a lot of money with, and it was. He was a hell of a talent, and it was a shame. And the guy was an inspiration. I mean, he came back and he helped, and did the best he could under a terrible situation. And he was a hell of a worker.
Yeah.
He was.
How did you wind up going to WCW?
How did that deal come up? From when to when? I mean, I was back in. I mean, I was like a whore.
When you came in as the Varsity Club.
Oh, the Varsity Club. I had already spent some time in Japan. Ole Anderson, I guess, was the booker then, I believe. And Rotundo and Doc and Steiner's had football players and wrestlers and stuff, athletes that lettered in college. And of course, I was a letterman in Georgia, so they were, I always wanted to work in America and work on top instead of having to go to Japan to work on top. Get treated right.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have stayed in Japan my whole time because it would have turned out a lot better for me.
Yeah.
Even though it did shorten my career probably from the heavy bumps it took, and things that you were willing to do over there.
Yeah. But do you think you would have been happier if you would have just did your whole
career
in
Japan? Yes.
Yeah. What were your impressions of and your thoughts on Jim Herd in WCW?
Jim Herd.
What
an idiot. Jim was okay with me, but man, this is what I don't understand. All right, I'm not Sid. I don't have the body that Sid does, but I'd probably say I have a lot more knowledge than Sid does. I mean, I have more experience.
Do you think things would have been different if it was Dusty who stayed and was booking and not Flair at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, Dusty would have had the Flair. He was friends with the Road Warriors and he liked the Steiners and stuff, and I think that had a lot to do with it instead of thinking of business. And Flair wanted all the focus and everything on him instead of somebody else.
Right.
Which we had the potential of taking everything from Flair, and Flair knew that and didn't want it to happen.
Well, when we interviewed Sid earlier, he and I were talking about the fact that the Skyscrapers, after the Horsemen, were really the first heel tag team that were cheered as baby faces, especially in the Northeast. The Northeast would go crazy for you guys.
Yeah, we were. We're supposed to be the bad guys, and people were cheering for us.
Yeah.
And Skyscrapers were. They were borderline. The sick people loved us. It didn't make any sense because we were vicious and portrayed that, and it was kind of weird. Yeah.
We were talking before, and we think that you guys were the first team to ever get the "one more time" chant at the Bash in Baltimore when it was what was it, Chokeslam?
Yes.
Chokeslam. After you Chokeslam, and all the fans were saying "one more time, one more time."
Yeah. It was a power bomb, wasn't it?
It was either power bomb.
It was power bomb. Chokeslam hadn't came out yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was another that power bomb thing I stole from Tenru over in Japan, and I come back from Japan. Never understood that because none of the guys would you see different moves over in Japan. Nobody, I don't guess there was that many guys that went over.
Yeah.
And really watched Japanese wrestling. But I stole so much stuff from Tenru and came back here and introduced it in the States and everything. Razor Ramon's finished, the deal.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that back from Japan, and damn if Scott didn't steal it, But you can't really say that, that's your whole and you created it.
Yeah.
And Scott even told me when he saw me do it at WCW, he said, Dan, you have to use that as your finish,
Yeah.
And I said, Scott, you got to be able to do your finish on anybody. How are you going to flip some guy up on your shoulders and, bomb him, 340-pound guy or something.
Yeah.
But Scott, came up with the idea, have him climbing the ropes.
Ah.
They start up the ropes from the back to you. You come up, you give them a shiver in the back, and they're already up there. You just bend down with them.
Right.
Which was, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
I couldn't have slung somebody up there over 300 pounds like that. You had to worry about the guy, dropping him like that because you had to really take care of him.
You don't want to throw your back out either.
Oh, you got a chance to break that guy's neck if you do it wrong.
Whose idea was it to put you and Sid and Teddy Long all together?
Kevin Sullivan. He was on that booking committee, and Kevin, I'd say, had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, in the first time you guys tugged together and the three of you were together, did you realize that you guys had something special?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the leather, the vest and chaps and stuff, that stuff was over, man.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to put on the back of the leather jackets and stuff, skyscrapers.
Yeah.
We're going to do that, but we got to get it okay. When Vince wants something done, it's done.
Huh.
And when Turner, you had to go through the chain of command, paperwork and all that to get in, and it took forever. And the time they got finished with it, again, the storyline was over.
Whose idea was it to put you and Sid and Teddy Long all together?
Kevin Sullivan. He was on that booking committee, and Kevin, I'd say, had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, in the first time you guys tugged together and the three of you were together, did you realize that you guys had something special?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the leather, the vest and chaps and stuff, that stuff was over, man.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to put on the back of the leather jackets and stuff, skyscrapers.
Yeah.
We're going to do that, but we got to get it okay. When Vince wants something done, it's done.
Huh.
And when Turner, you had to go through the chain of command, paperwork and all that to get in, and it took forever. And the time they got finished with it, again, the storyline was over.
Wow. What are your memories of Sid back then? Because he was still young and...
He was big.
Yeah.
And well built, and this guy, all he dreams about is working out. And seeing him today after not seeing him for 14 years, it's been that long, 14, 15 years since I've seen Sid. He's still like that. Man.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Eats. Man, I never seen anybody eat so much. I remember seeing him after he punctured his lungs, and he was in the hospital. And he was down to about 160, 70 pounds.
Wow.
And he was skinny as a pro, man. But he's huge.
Yeah. Did you like traveling with him?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. Are you surprised that even today that Teddy Long has still a run as a manager personality?
I didn't know that. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had turned on TV and I was surfing and I stuck. I usually don't watch TV wrestling anymore. Watch wrestling anymore.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anybody except for Undertaker and I know Triple H.
Okay.
That's all the guys.
You know Bradshaw a little bit?
Who?
Bradshaw?
No, I never met him.
Oh, okay.
No, let's see.
Sean.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sean. Yeah, there's a few guys I still know, but really I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you saw Teddy?
Yeah, let's get back. I got lost here. What were we talking about?
Teddy Long.
Teddy's still managing, huh?
He's the general manager on the one show, the fictional general manager. Yeah.
Good for Teddy. I didn't know he was still in the business.
Yeah.
Good. Me and Sid would go to the gym, and Teddy would come with us, and all Teddy would do is chest. Never did any other part. It might be 3 days in a row, but he's doing chest. I was thinking about that earlier.
Oh, it's funny. Why, we touched on this a little bit. Why do you think you guys got so over as baby faces on the Northeast?
Because we were tough, and we portrayed these two tough, badass guys, and we didn't really heel on people. We were just mean and vicious, and people were into that. Just being indestructible, big, tough sons of guns.
Sid said for some of the baby faces back then, they were starting to get a little frazzled because they were getting booed.
Oh yeah, they couldn't take it, man. It's a work, man. It's a work. Even Waylon Mercy, when I had a match on Raw when I opened the match. It was terrible against the Clown. And they were going to kill the Clown, and that's not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. I always had that problem. I probably should have just been a babyface and not ever been a heel, because everything I ever done, people always end up cheering.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Skyscrapers and Waylon Mercy. I mean, Waylon Mercy was borderline which way he was. I mean, the people, how they took him.
Yeah.
I mean, kill the clown. I mean, the people out in the audience want to kill a clown.
Yeah.
You got the Waylon Mercy and, just nasty, villainous type guy, and people are cheering him. I mean, we have a sick society.
What are your memories of this time of Terry Funk? And there's a legendary story that he broke his tailbone right before the Bash '89 and wrestled with a broken tailbone against Flair.
He did. Terry Funk is tough as son of a gun I ever met. I mean, the guy needs 2 knee replacements, and they're telling him what else, and he's doing moonsaults at 60-something years old. I mean, I think he's retired now, but he was 60 years old doing moonsaults onto the floor.
Yeah.
And he did. I was traveling with him at the time, when he had the broken tailbone. He worked against Ric Flair, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he certainly did. He's tough, man.
Wow.
Terry's been really good to me. And Terry had a lot to do with my career. And Terry, was really strong with Japan for a lot of years. I mean, it goes back to his father, to Dory, to Terry. And Terry, had a lot of pull in Japan there for a while.
Wow.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.